I'm so glad you could join me for my new Tate Lyle masterclass. And guess what's going to be top of the list? Puddings, those great British classics. We all love puddings in this country. That's our greatest food reputation in the whole of the world. Great British puds. And you know, in my travels around the country, I found so many wonderful classics, going back to Victorian times through to the 50s and 60s when puddings were really big in this country. And I intend to make them big again, because I think we all love them, don't we? And in all of these desserts, I'm going to be using Tate Lyle natural cane sugars and syrups. Mwah! That's what makes them so delicious. And I'm going to take you through all the ingredients and sugars needed for every single recipe. So whatever the season, you know each recipe is worth a try. And all you have to do is look and cook. And don't panic, because all the recipes are featured in my new booklet, which comes with this video. It includes all the ingredients, methods, cooking times, microwave instructions, and much, much more. So, let's get cooking. So here we are with our first masterclass dish. And what's it going to be? Spotted Dick. What a name, but what a pudding. That goes back to the 18th century, but I remember it from school days for a school pudding. Do you remember that? Well, that's exactly what I'm going to make for you, but a lot lighter and a lot tastier. And this is what you need. In here, I've got 11 ounces of plain flour, 5 ounces of suet. I'm going to add a 1/4 ounce of baking powder, 4 ounces of currants, and now for the most important of ingredients, 3 ounces of cane caster sugar, which is going to give it that extra lightness and extra tasty. And here's something else for you, and you didn't get this at school. I've taken the zest of 1 lemon, finely grated, to put an extra zing and zest into it. And that's exactly what it's going to do. Just mix that in as well. Mix all those flavours together. Goodness me. And now all you're going to need is about a 1/4 pint of milk. Add it, stir it in until you've got a wonderful suet dough with that lemon flavour happening all the way through. The next thing you have to do is simply roll it into a cylinder. And that should look like this. Now, doesn't that look smooth, delicious and rich? Well, guess what? It is. And now all you have to do is take some greaseproof paper, roll it up, tie it at either end, making sure you leave enough room for it to rise like a wonderful sweet souffle. That's how good it's going to be. Hey, here's another idea for you. How about making a savoury sausage roll? Just taking out the sugars, the currants and the lemon, wrap it around some nice pork sausage meat, steam it and serve it with a tomato sauce. And do you know how to make a tomato sauce really tasty? Take some cane demerara sugar, touch of vinegar, boil them together, drop it in your sauce. Wow, you almost have a sweet and sour sauce to go with it. It's delicious. How about that for an idea? Anyway, let's get back to this. Listen. Can you hear that steam? That tells me we've got lightness and we have got lots of wonderful flavour. All we have to do now, take off the greaseproof. Let's just cut that off. Oh dear, I feel like it's Christmas Day when I'm opening this. I really do. I get overexcited. And this is just the first recipe. Wait to see the other 5. You're going to be as excited as me. Look at that. It looks fantastic. This is real, light, tasty, zingy, zesty Spotted Dick. Delicious. Right, let's have a look at it. Something else I've made as well. See, I can't stop telling you about it. I've made a lovely lemon custard to go with it. Or what about golden syrup? In fact, you could make this into a golden syrup Spotted Dick. Just adding golden syrup, taking out a touch of the sugar and milk, and imagine that almost treacle falling on the plate. Oh, goodness me. It's lovely. Here we go. Let's take, oh, dear, dear, dear. It's so good. Let's put one delicious slice on the plate like that. Now, I said about that lemon custard, that's exactly what I've got here. Let's spoon some of that around. Goodness me. So you've got lovely lemon Spotted Dick with lemon custard to go with it. One more slice, because you'll easy eat too. Sit that there. Here I've got some lovely zest of lemon just to garnish it with as well. And I bet you didn't see it looking like this at school. There, look at that. How about a little touch of mint as well, just to colour the whole dish? And what about some icing sugar, just to finish it off? This, I think, looks spectacular and even more tasty. There we go. And what about that golden syrup? Well, I've got the lemon custard and I want the Lyle's golden syrup as well. So just a little of that falling across the top. There. What a finish. Trickling flavour onto a delicious winter pudding. And you know what? Can't you see in there all the flavour it's got, all the texture, all the taste? Everything is in that dish. In fact, it's having a major effect on me. And guess what? On my trousers as well. Looking good. Here we are, cooking on a real family day. And what family day could this be? Yes, you've guessed it. It's Pancake Day, because that is a day for the whole family. And it's a day to be cooking with children. And I've got a fantastic team here. This is James. Hi, James. This is Natalie. And they are doing a great job for me, getting the ingredients ready just for me. And guess what I'm making? Chocolate scotch pancakes using cane caster sugar. Really delicious to eat, and they've got a wonderful thick texture, much better than those ordinary thin pancakes. We thought we'd give you something new and exciting to look at. So, how are we getting on? I think she's ready. They're so good. They are so good. Let's have a look. That looks brilliant, Natalie. Bring that to me. Right, come in close and I'll tell you exactly what these ingredients are. Because Natalie has taken here 6 ounces of self-raising flour and 2 ounces of cocoa powder and sieved them together, just for me. And if you don't like chocolate, just replace those 2 ounces of cocoa with a further 2 ounces of self-raising flour. So you can have them plain. And imagine that, eating them with Lyle's golden syrup on top. What do you think? Great, she's absolutely right. Right, now, the next part of the recipe, I need to put in just a pinch of salt. You see, that's all I'm adding, just a pinch of salt. What have you got here? I think that James has got 4 ounces of cane caster sugar, 2 eggs, 1/4 pint of milk and 1 ounce of melted butter. Is it ready?
Yes.
Excellent. Now all we do is mix all those ingredients together. And we have the most delicious, now come in close and look at this, get in real close. Doesn't it look good?
Yeah.
It's tremendous.
Delicious.
Ah, he's using all my lines. Delicious. He's absolutely right. But look at this. This is wonderful. This is chocolate scotch pancake batter. All you need to do is literally whisk it up together. And then all we've got to do is cook it. And all you're going to need for that is 1 hot pan. I've got this great griddle pan here, or just a frying pan with a little trickle of oil or butter, and it's done. Right, let's really whisk that up. Look at it. There. That is ready. Let's get cooking. Right, is this got enough oil on it? Let's just brush a touch of oil. Come round. The first one here is going to be for you. Well, ladies first. Natalie. There it is. Look at that. Ooh, wonderful. That one's for you, Natalie. One for you, James. There. And I think I'll have one as well. Now, look at that. That looks absolutely fantastic. And here's a little tip for you. Whenever you're making chocolate scotch pancakes, or any of these scotch pancakes, when you see it start to bubble on top, you know it's ready to turn. And then literally 30 seconds or a minute later, it's ready and they're cooked. And here's some other ideas for you. Take a look at these. Now, this is how to turn chocolate scotch pancakes into a really sensational dish. Come and have a look. Look what I've done here. I've just taken slices of banana, sat them on top, dusted them very heavily with cane icing sugar, and then you can put them under your grill or use one of those gas guns and you're going to get that crispy, crunchy sugar topping. Can you imagine that? On chocolate scotch pancakes, and maybe serve them with custard, cream. Oh, don't they look exciting? And if you think we've only made 3, no way. Look what we've been making, because we love pancakes. They really are for the whole family. So this is how quick and easy they are to make. We've been making them all day, haven't we?
Yeah.
And hasn't it been fun?
Yeah.
Do you want to try one?
Yes, yes, please.
Well, first of all, let's turn these over and then we'll all dig in there, okay? Now, there's that bubbling I told you about. Turn it over. You have a go now, James. Go on. Oh, look at that. A natural chef, a natural chef. Off you go, Natalie. And another natural chefess. Look at that. That's fantastic. Let's leave those to cook. I think what we should do now is just enjoy them, because this is what caster cane sugar can do for you. Wonderful chocolate scotch pancakes. I think there's only one way now to tell everybody about them, and that's eat them. Let's go.
Delicious. It's great.
Isn't it been good fun? This recipe is in the spring section of your booklet, and if you've seen it, you'll know exactly what I'm going to be making with these apples. Yes, that great British classic from the 50s, that apple pie. We love making apple pies, don't we? But not like this, because these are individual apple pies. You can make a large one if you want to, but I'm going to show you how to make your very own personalised apple pie. What do you think of that? It's a great idea, isn't it? And it really is tremendous. The first thing you're going to need is a mould like that. Individual, about that deep, absolutely sensational. But if you haven't got these moulds, don't worry. Just make one large one, but use this recipe because it is that good. And if you've seen the picture, you'll know exactly what I mean, because this is what you're going to need. The first thing, of course, is to line the mould with pastry. And I've used a sweet short crust pastry using cane caster sugar, which gives you a wonderful finish, a lovely sweetness to that pastry. And this is what you do. Literally, just roll it out nice and thin and line the ring itself and put a little base in like that. Simple and easy. And this recipe will make you 4 individual pies or just one large one. So there's the first step. The next thing, I told you this is a little bit different. You know me, I don't like to waste any flavours. I like to increase them and make them even more exciting. So the way we're not going to waste any of these tastes, I'm going to collect every little last drop of syrup this is going to make and all that flavour from the apples in this, a piece of sponge. When was the last time you put a piece of sponge in your apple pie? Never, I bet. So here's a new idea for you. Just take a piece of Victoria sponge, cut it about 1/4 inch thick, that'll be plenty, and pop it into the mould like that. So there you go. So just imagine now, you've actually got that sponge, which is going to help keep your pastry nice and crispy on the base, and also collect all the flavour from those apples. So tastes are already happening for me. They really are going to be exciting. You need between 12 ounces and a pound of apples will be plenty. Peel them and cut them either into a 1/2 inch dice or literally just into little pieces like this with the core taken out. Smells delicious. The next thing is to add all those extra ingredients for all those extra flavours. So the first thing is about 1/2 teaspoon of grated lemon zest. Sprinkle that on top. It's plenty. 1/2 teaspoon of orange zest, also finely grated. Look at that. So imagine orange and lemon flavour happening as well. And also to help keep the colour on those apples, the juice of 1/2 lemon added. The next thing, I've got 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. Cinnamon and apple. What a classic combination that is. And, of course, 2 ounces of cane demerara sugar. Sit that on top as well. All you have to do now is literally mix it round and it's made. It's so easy. It really is. And absolutely delicious to smell and even better to eat. So the next stage, you've got your sponge in the mould. Now all you have to do is fill the mould with the apples and make sure you pack them in because you want plenty of flavour, plenty of taste. Really push that in beautifully, like that. Pack them in. And now all we're going to do is put a little topping on it. And all I've done is taken a little disc of pastry as well, sit it on top. First thing, take a little touch of water on a brush, brush it around the pastry, and sit this on top like that. So that's it. You've pushed the pastry on top. You can see those apples almost popping out the top. That's how packed with flavour they're going to be. The next thing, have your oven on about a gas mark 6 or about 200 degrees. 20 minutes, 30 minutes later, you are going to have wonderful individual golden apple pies. And I've baked some just for you. This is what they look like. Now, please, you've got to talk to me about these. Don't they look delicious? The thing to do, put them onto a rack and let them rest for 15 minutes. So it just cools it and keeps that pastry nice and crispy. Take off the moulds and that is what you've got. Individual apple pies. Now, what about a nice finished glaze to go on top of it? Of course, before you bake them, you can sprinkle them with cane caster sugar and that will give you a glaze. Or that great classic old glaze we use with apricot jam and water boiled together. But not me. I'm going to use Lyle's golden syrup. And can you imagine that just trickling over the edge and falling down the sides, and when you break into it, all that wonderful texture? It's going to be delicious. Take a look at this. There it is. Lyle's golden syrup just trickling, giving you a wonderful glaze and a wonderful finished dish. There it is, individual apple pie. And what are you going to serve with it? Well, you could use clotted cream, pouring cream, homemade custard, ice cream. I don't know what I'd do. I'd have the lot. That's how good it will be. Absolutely delicious with the lot of them. And it doesn't have to be an apple pie. You can make a cherry pie, plum pie, apricot. What about a pear pie? Maybe replace that sponge with a little bit of frangipan. Maybe that wonderful dark brown soft cane sugar. Absolutely sensational. And serve that with a rum sauce, chocolate sauce. You could make apple and blackberry, apple and blackcurrant, apple and raisin, apple and nutmeg, apple and cinnamon. The list just goes on. I bet you're wondering what I'm going to make with this. Well, this dish takes me back to my childhood. Do you remember Neapolitan ice cream? Strawberry, vanilla, chocolate, all in one block? Wasn't that good to eat? All those flavours working together? Well, that's what I'm going to make for you. But not an ice cream. This one's even lighter. It's going to be Neapolitan parfait. Just imagine that, much lighter to eat, but still as tasty with all of those flavours. And this is the base for all 3 of those recipes. 3 recipes, you're saying? Well, of course, you've got to have 3 different flavours. I'm doing the strawberry, the vanilla, and the chocolate. Now, this is the initial base. It's something we call a sabayon. Now, what I've done with that is take 2 egg yolks and 1 ounce of cane caster sugar, whisk them together until they've doubled in volume to a light, fluffy, wonderful texture like that. Then what I've done now is whisk them just to take some of the heat out of it, because I don't want this too warm. Now, the first one I'm going to make is strawberry, because of course when we turn it out I want the strawberry to be on top, vanilla in the middle to break up all those colours and flavours, and chocolate on the bottom. So this is the base for all 3 flavours. Now when it comes around to making your vanilla, it's best to add either the scrapings from 1 vanilla pod or a few drops of vanilla essence as you're whisking it up to cook out that lovely vanilla flavour into your sabayon. If you're going to make chocolate, it's best to take between 2 and 4 ounces of delicious melted dark chocolate, depending on how strong you want it, which we'll be adding very shortly. But I'm going to show you the strawberry one, and it's the same method for all 3. And this is what I've made, a delicious strawberry coulis, which really is just sieved strawberries. But to add extra flavour, I took 4 ounces of strawberries with a little touch of strawberry jam, little drop of water, warm them together, you push them through a sieve, that's what you've got. And all you do now is add it to your sabayon, just like that. So think of all that delicious strawberry flavour working its way in. Oh, goodness me. Look at the colour. Can you see this Neapolitan happening already? So that's the first stage you've had, is the sabayon. The second one, adding the coulis. The third one is whipped cream. And all you're going to need is a 1/4 pint of double cream, lightly whipped like this. So let's add that. In it goes. That looks absolutely delicious, and now we're literally just going to whisk that in as well. And now you have the most delicious light strawberry parfait mix. Now what you're going to need is a terrine mould that should be lined with greaseproof paper. That'll help you turn the whole thing out, which is going to make life an awful lot easier. And this is what I've done. Taken 1 terrine, there's your greaseproof paper. All you do now is pour in the delicious strawberry parfait mix. There, that looks plenty. Now, here's a little tip for you. While this is sitting in the freezer and setting and becoming iced and light and fluffy and delicious, you can start to make your vanilla one. And when you pour that one on top and freeze that, you can make your chocolate one. So you've got those classic Neapolitan flavours, strawberry, vanilla, chocolate. But if you want to make different Neapolitan of your choice, how about making a banana and using a sabayon, using that cane light brown soft sugar? That will be delicious. Then vanilla in the centre, maybe coffee on the bottom. The choice is yours. But when they're all in, all you do, pop it in the freezer, and when it's set, it's going to look like this. Parfait Neapolitana. Ah, beautiful. Fantastico. Mwah! Look at all these wonderful colours, wonderful flavours. Take one a slice. Oh, goodness me. Beautiful. Just like my mama used to make. Mwah! When I was in America last year, I visited the most fantastic delicatessen in New York, where they're famous all over the United States. Guess what for? American cheesecake. What a fantastic dish it is. Great for Thanksgiving as well, or a great alternative for pumpkin pie. But guess what? They told me it was a secret recipe, and I managed to get hold of that recipe, and I'm going to give it just to you. So shh. Don't tell anybody else, it's just for you. And it really is fantastic to eat and very simple to make. Whenever you're making a cheesecake, the first thing you need is cream cheese. And you're going to see lots of action happening right in here. So I've got 1.5 pounds of cream cheese in here. And what I've done is just taken 1 vanilla pod, scrape that out, to put a lovely vanilla flavour happening in that cream cheese. And if you can't get fresh vanilla, just use 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence and it still works just as well. The next ingredients you're going to need are this: 8 ounces of cane caster sugar mixed with 3 tablespoons of corn flour. I've also taken 2 eggs lightly beaten, and I'm going to be pouring those in, and also half a pint of whipping or double cream. So, here goes. This is that secret recipe. Watch this. So there it is. Look at that wonderful creamy texture it's turned into. This is a fantastic recipe. Told you it was a secret. And there's another secret about American cheesecakes. And you know what that is? The difference between American and British cheesecake is American cheesecake is baked. So this is the next thing you're going to need. A large 10-inch cake tin. Look at that. And what's in the base? A sponge. Again, just a Victoria or plain sponge in the base, about a 1/4 inch thick, to give you another base, rather than the biscuits that we use on our British recipe. So, that's in the mould. Here we go. Let's take that off. I don't know whether to show you. It looks too good. I might keep it a secret. It's so delicious. Here we go. Pour it in. Look at that. I could eat that as it is without baking it. It looks so tasty. Right, let's spoon that out. That, I think, is all about flavour, texture, taste, and all those other lovely things I like to say. And all you have to do now is bake it. And here's another little tip for you. If you put it onto a baking tray, put a few little trickles of water in there to help create a steam, which will give you more of an even cooking. And you need this on 180 degrees, that's about a gas mark 4, in your oven. Bake it off for 50 minutes, and then you've got baked American cheesecake. Do you want to see what it looks like? Well, I'm going to show you. It looks like this. Now look at that wonderful baked American cheesecake. It really does look delicious. And when you cut a nice slice, you're going to see the most fantastic texture. Because here's another little secret to this recipe. If you serve it just at room temperature, this is what you get. Now look at that wonderful slice of cheesecake. You can see that lovely creaminess about it. But if you want to eat it very cold, just refrigerate it and it sets even firmer. But I like it just like that, lovely and creamy. And what else do the Americans do with it? They put lovely strawberries on top, nuts, jam, all those wonderful flavours you can have sitting across the top. But me, I'm going to use some of Lyle's black treacle, because imagine that, the sweetness of that with the bitterness of the black treacle, it's sensational. So just trickle some on top, or you can use golden syrup. Both work very, very well. And here it is. Oh, look at that wonderful ingredient. It's just trickling down. Oh, dear. I'm getting hungry all over again. Here we go. Let's just trickle some on top. Look, wonderful, delicious black treacle sitting on top of American cheesecake. And if you want to really make this look delicious and even more exciting, how about a little touch of cane icing sugar just trickled around the outside? There it is. A great American classic American cheesecake. And here's another little tip for you. I mentioned golden syrup, didn't I? Well, if you're having that Thanksgiving turkey or even just your basic roast chicken, here's another idea. Why not do a nice twist of black pepper on top before you roast it, so you've got a little fiery flavour of black pepper, and the last 5 minutes of roasting, just put golden syrup across the top. Imagine that. The hotness of the pepper, the sweetness of the golden syrup just trickling over the outside. You get a beautiful glaze, and all that residue in the pan, put it in your gravy. You see, Tate Lyle products, they're great for everything, whether it be sweet or savoury. You've got to use them. Yes, it's Christmas time. That wonderful festive season has arrived. And Christmas brings us so many great British classics, like Christmas pudding. I bet you have that every year. Well, this year I've got a great alternative for you. Christmas donuts. What do you think of that? Have you ever made donuts at home before? Making that donut dough batter? You don't need that, because guess what I'm making? I'm making Christmas sandwiches into donuts. Have you ever heard of that before? They are so tasty, and when you dredge them with that cane caster sugar, they are delicious. A great alternative for your Christmas. And think about Christmas. What other classics do we do? What about all those wonderful vegetables we cook? The lovely carrots. Here's an idea. Next time you're cooking those in a little knob of butter, just add a little touch of the caster cane sugar to glaze them and give them even more sweetness. And what about your sprouts? When you're pan frying those and they're going really golden, just sprinkle them with cane demerara sugar to give them an even richer glaze and sharper flavour. And I haven't stopped with that. What about your parsnips? Well, I always have beautiful roast parsnips. And I know how I make them beautiful, because when they're almost cooked, I take that light, soft brown cane sugar to make them even richer, sharper and tastier. So there's a few hints for your Christmas. Now on to my Christmas sandwiches. All you're going to need is thick white sliced bread, just buttered, and now all we're going to do is take some mincemeat and sit it in the centre. So this looks difficult, doesn't it? Really looks that difficult, because all you need now is another slice of bread, sit it on top, push it down like that, take a round cutter like that and literally push it through. What have you got? You've actually just made a mincemeat Christmas sandwich like that. Isn't that easy? And you know what happens next? We make a lovely batter. And the batter I've made is made with cider. A nice dry cider. You need about 1/4 pint. Mix it with 4 ounces of self-raising flour, 1 ounce of cane caster sugar. That's the batter you've got. Simply dip in your lovely sandwich and pop it into a deep fat fryer like this. You want this on about 300 degrees. Now, take a look at what I've cooked here. Let me show you how that comes out. Now, doesn't that look fantastic? It's golden, it's crispy, it's almost souffled, and watch this with the sugar. Just dredge it across the top. Do you know, for the first time, I can actually smell Christmas. It's actually there. It smells absolutely delicious. And with these as a pudding, why not make a lovely rum sauce? Imagine that. Rum sauce with a hot Christmas sandwich donut on top. That sounds delicious, doesn't it? So I know I'm going to have a Merry Christmas, and I hope you're going to have a Merry Christmas too. Well, I do hope you've enjoyed this masterclass, and I've given you lots of new ideas. And if you'd like to have lots of new ideas on a regular basis, why don't you join the Tate Lyle Cooks Club? Just send a large stamped self-addressed envelope to this address. Tate Lyle Cooks Club, P.O. Box 1, Basildon, Essex, SS156TZ. And remember, for the best results, you need the best ingredients. And that's Tate & Lyle's cane sugars and syrups. And I don't mean just in food. Cheers! Once upon a time, there was a gingerbread man. Everyone wanted the little biscuit because he was made from Lyle's golden syrup and cane sugar. From Tate & Lyle, the only cane sugar refiners in the kingdom, and makers of the snow whitest icing sugar. From that day on, the gingerbread recipe was found on special packs of Tate & Lyle cane sugar. And everyone lived happily ever after. The end. Smile. It's Tate & Lyle.